Good afternoon, welcome to Rovers TV and the Providence Stadium at Odsall for this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup match between Bradford Bulls and Featherstone Rovers. The team lineups are as follows: Bradford Bulls, number 19 Johnny Campbell, 5 Ilias Makani, 3 James Mendika, 4 Ross Oates, 2 Ethan Ryan, 6 Leon Price, 7 Joe Keys, 15 John Magrin, 9 Joe Lum, 17 Ross Peltier, 21 Brandon Wilkinson, 20 James Bentley, and 26 Vila Halafihi. On the interchange bench for Bradford, 34 Scott Moore, 8 Liam Kirk, 33 Reese Butterworth, and 35 Evan Hodgson. Head coach of Bradford Bulls is Lee Beattie. Lining up for Featherstone Rovers, number 1 Ian Hardman, 18 Scott Turner, 22 Jason Walton, 3 Chris Alunya, 2 James Duckworth, 6 Kyle Briggs, 19 Matty Wilde, 16 Andy Bostock, 12 John Davis, 16 Luke Cooper, 14 Frankie Mariano, 23 Josh Hardcastle, 21 James Lockwood. On the interchange bench for Featherstone Rovers, 15 Brad Tagg, 8 Darryl Griffin, 13 Richard Moore, and 17 Sam Day. Head coach for Featherstone Rovers is John Sharp. Referee today is Callum Straw. My name's Joanne Fitzpatrick, and I've got Ben Gomersall on the commentating bench with me here today. Good afternoon, Ben.
Good afternoon, Joanne.
So, when we're looking down these team sheets, quite a few changes there for both sides for this Challenge Cup tie. Indeed.
For Featherstone Rovers, of course, no dual registration. Leeds Rhinos not wanting their players to be cup side today, so not allowing any of their players to play for Rovers today. So that sees James Duckworth with his first appearance for the season, and also Sam Day on the bench as well. But the big news, of course, is the resting of Anthony Thackeray and Matthew Wilde, which sees Johnny Davis moving in at scrum half.
Heel Carlisle, that is.
Heel Carlisle,
rested,
sorry.
Isn't it? Yeah, Matthew Wilde at scrum half. And I was just going to touch on that, Ben. We've got the first time we've seen that half-back partnership this season, isn't it? With Briggs at 6 and Wilde in that scrum half. And then John Davis at hooker. So the pivots having a total change around today. Indeed.
And, of course, John Davis did play at hooker a number of times last season for Featherstone Rovers. Did an okay job filling in. Obviously, he's not got the same, maybe not the same quick thinking as the likes of Keel Carlisle, which might be why we're seeing Sam Day on the bench today. He's still a good player, still does a good job there, but I think Keel Carlisle will be a big miss for Rovers today.
Well, Keel Carlisle, we were talking about this on Thursday. His stats are immense. He's often the top tackler for Featherstone Rovers. It sometimes gets missed, the amount of defensive work that he does. Everybody looks at what he does from dummy half and in the pivot, but actually the work rate of his tackling that he gets through, because he's on so many minutes as well on the field. So he will be a big miss today, will Keel Carlisle. As far as we know, they're being rested of those players, are they? Because they're such hard-working players, Thackeray and Carlisle, and the league has to come first, I guess.
It is an interesting call by John Sharp to rest both of those players. Two players who have been massively influential in the way that Featherstone Rovers have started this season. They've had such a big impact in this Rovers team, and a lot of people will underestimate the effect that the impact they have had, but they have played a massive part in the way that we started this year.
I went listening in today that haven't come to Bradford. It was sunny in Featherstone when we set off in Wakefield and Featherstone. We got to Bradford and the rain was absolutely tipping down, and it's been swirling around this stadium as the rain, not only rain, it's a wind, and as we look now, the rain is going horizontal from right to left as we look towards that coral stand end. So it will be really interesting to see who wins the toss and which way they decide to play.
It will. It's torrential, isn't it? It's a horrible day here in Bradford. And the contrast from when Jamie picked me up in Normanton this afternoon to here is just chalk and cheese almost, isn't it?
It is, although the sun is trying to break out, the rain is still tipping down, and it's going to make handling very difficult today as well, isn't it, for the teams?
I think the team which can control the ball better and get the best of the conditions quicker, get a grip to them, is a team that you'll find will come out on top. I think the kicking game for both teams is going to be massively influential, and I think that potentially you could see where maybe we'll miss Anthony Thackeray today for his kicking game, but you'll be massively relying on Featherstone Rovers. We'll be looking to the likes of Kyle Briggs and Matthew Wildy. But equally, we've not talked about Bradford yet. They've got Joe Keys in at number 7, but they've got a wily old head in at number 6 in Leon Price as well.
Yeah, if we just have a chat about Bradford, obviously the massively experienced Leon Price there in at standoff. They've also made a few signings, a couple from London in McCartney and Magrin, haven't they? So they do have quite a lot of experience out there, despite all the problems that they've had this season. I know they've got a couple of academy players on the bench in Reece Butterworth and Evan Hodgson, but when you look through the 1 to 13, there's a lot of experience there for Bradford, and they shouldn't be underestimated. I
definitely agree with you on that one. Johnny Campbell, of course, in at fullback as well. You didn't mention him, but he's a very experienced fullback. But I think the signing of Elias McCartney is a particularly shrewd signing from the Bulls. He was such an influential player for London last year, and a lot of what they did. You know, we saw him in the end of season game, in the last game of the qualifiers down there. He had an outstanding game for London that day, and I think he is a particularly shrewd signing for the Bulls, and I think he could do a great job for them.
Certainly will. So the other thing that Featherstone Rovers are missing is Michael Knowles, of course, and Luke Briscoe. We didn't mention those. So from that that victory against Sheffield at Wakefield last Sunday evening, there are quite a few changes in the Featherstone side.
There's a lot of changes to that Rovers side, and I think what John Sharp's thinking behind it is, realistically thinking, he knows that Featherstone aren't going to win the Challenge Cup. So what he's done is he's used this as a game today, as the Rovers are coming out, he's using this as an opportunity now to have a look at some of the squad players in his team who maybe we haven't seen feature much so far this season. The likes of James Duckworth, the likes of Luke Cooper and Sam Day on the bench. It's giving them an opportunity, and it's reminiscent as well of what happened at Catalans. I was talking before the match, it was Sam Day's debut match at Catalans, and Rovers pushed Catalans so close that day.
Certainly did. We've just had Featherstone Rovers take to the field, and they're playing in the red away strip today, and they are going to be against the rain in the first half. You'd guess that Bradford won the toss there then, Ben?
To be honest, I think that's a good thing. I'd rather have the wind at our backs in the second half. As out come the Bradford Bulls, I think, somewhere amidst all that smoke over there. But I do think playing against the wind in the first half, I think that can work to the Rovers' advantage, Joanne.
Yeah, it possibly could be, I suppose it depends if the rain eases off any in that second half or if the wind drops. However, as it is at the moment, Featherstone will be playing against the wind and the rain in the first half, so Featherstone Rovers going to take the kick-off. All just coming into the middle. Mr. Straw hands it to Kyle Briggs, so I'll hand over to you, Ben, to carry on the commentary.
Thank you very much, Joanne. So, Rovers playing from right to left if you're watching on the DVD in this first half. Kyle Briggs kicks off. It's along the ground. It bounced a couple of times. It's taken by the Bulls. There's that first drive in, and Scott and Josh Hardcastle, involved in that tackle, along with Luke Cooper and Andy Bostock. And here are the Bulls now in centre field. with Johnny Campbell. He will play the ball, and it's Joe Lummis, the acting halfback. He moves it out towards his left-hand side, but good defence there from Featherstone Rovers. The Bulls still trapped in their own 30 now. There's another play of the ball. It's worked in field again, and the Bulls making slow, steady yards at the moment. Still trapped just outside their own 30. It finds Leon Price. He will put boot to ball. It's a high kick. Finds the ground. It's a great kick as well. It is picked up by Scott Turner, and Turner will return that ball in. So a good opening set for the Bradford Bulls, and Featherstone Rovers are going to get a penalty there for a bit of a dangerous tackle, dumping Scott Turner to the ground. So it was a good first set, Joanne, but they won't be pleased with the discipline at the end of it.
No, it was... Featherstone actually contained Bradford quite well there, but that kick from Liam Price that came in on the last tackle using the wind, it went deep down the field, didn't it? But yes, they won't be pleased with that tackle on Turner, won't Bradford, as Featherstone have put the ball into touch and they've taken the tap from their own 40-metre line. So they're going to have their first set of 6 with Luke Cooper with the ball returning into the side. He'll be glad to have a chance of a run out today. So Featherstone just in the Bradford half now with Andy Bostock. Takes it over the Bradford 40, plays the ball. Oh, he's knocked on though. Thought it was a very quick play the ball by Andy Bostock. We talked about the conditions, didn't we? And that's a knock on there. As Bostock tried to play the ball, it went to the ground, and there's going to be a scrum down to Bradford, just short of their own 40-metre line.
So mistake from both teams at the end of the set. Bradford conceding a penalty. Andy Bostock knocking on just on the Bulls 40. So the Bulls feed the scrum. Out to the back, it's Johnny Campbell. Ducks under the tackle, but is eventually held up by Johnny Davis. He plays the ball to the left. And here are the Bulls now into the Rovers half to go with James Bentley. Bentley plays the ball. And the Bulls now on the Rovers 40. Ball's worked in field, through the hands it goes. It's worked out to that right hand side, but good defence from Featherstone Rovers. And it looks like there might be an injury to a Bradford player now.
It's that kind of weather, isn't it, where people have slips and they end up going into tackles awkwardly. Can't quite see who the player is who's down because he's surrounded by the physiotherapist, and it looks like the doctor's out there as well, so could be a pretty bad injury this, Ben.
It could indeed. We've had just still inside the first 3 minutes, still the Bulls 0, Rovers 0. Conditions don't seem to be getting any better either, do they?
No.
It's going to be, like I said earlier, it's going to be the team that handles the conditions best. I think you're the team that you'll find getting on top in this game.
Yeah, we're not having much luck with the Sunday weather, are we, lately?
It's been, like I was saying on the way over here, it's reminiscent almost of a couple of years ago, where it was nice every day during the week, and then when it got to match day on a Sunday, it rained every single Sunday for the whole season, and it was just awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not. I feel sorry for I mean, we're here in the main stand, we can still feel the rain here, but the supporters opposite with no cover on what together, they're hardcore, I guess. This player, Bradford player, still receiving treatment.
It's going to have to come off. The signal came from the bench here. It's going to have to be withdrawn.
Looks like a problem with the left leg.
It's a massive blow for the Bulls. They'll have a game plan set up already before the start of this game, Joanne, with players like this. So it's now going to involve a massive change to the Bulls' game plan.
James Mendika there that's got that injury for Bradford, so the former Featherstone Rovers player in a lot of strife as the game continues now, as Bradford take it up to the Featherstone 30-metre line.
Indeed, and so on the 30 then Bradford centre field, and Leon Price has put it down this time.
Bradford players not very happy there. I think it was
a bit of afters there from
Castle went in to tackle Leon Price after he dropped the ball. Bradford players weren't happy with his attention, but there's the turnover because it was the last tackle. So Featherstone 35 metres away from their own line. That's a terrible...
No, that's all right. It came off his ankle, went forward off his leg.
Away with it there, Featherstone. It was a terrible pass by John Davis. Here's James Lockwood now. Take it in. So Featherstone got away with that somewhat. Davis needs to be a little bit more cleaner from dummy half. That was a better one to Luke Cooper.
That's what we were talking about before the game, though, Joanne, with the...
Luke Cooper takes it over the halfway line. Looked to be a suspect forward pass there to Andy Bostock, but he gets the ball away to Davis, who slips on this turf. But again, he manages an offload to Luke Cooper. That was good play by Davis. So Featherstone 30 metres away from the Bradford line. They've got up there by hook or by crook. It comes out to Jason Walton. Jason Walton bounces off Leon Price, but then gets wrapped up. 22 metres away, the ball comes to Briggs, who Briggs puts it up in the air. It's a high towering one. I think it's gone backwards, and Briggs has collected his own kick, but he's not able to do anything with it on his own on the Bradford 20-metre line. So it's going to be a turnover to Bradford.
Bit of a strange kick, that one. High, but not really. As Leon Price puts the ball down again, Rovers are away. It's Josh Hardcastle. It's over for Featherstone Rovers. That's a great way to start. Leon Price it was, I think, who put the ball down in the tackle, and Hardcastle just picked up and strolled through the defence and got it down. Bradford Bulls 0, Featherstone Rovers 4.
I felt as though it was Joe Lum that got the ball stolen there, actually, by Featherstone Rovers, and the ball went to the floor. Josh Hardcastle gratefully picked it up and strolled in for that try under the post. So Featherstone Rovers taking that early lead. Bradford, again, it's the conditions, isn't it? But it was a one-on-one ball steal there by Featherstone Rovers. So good play. Kyle Briggs going to go for the conversion attempt under the post.
What a start for Featherstone Rovers, though, in a Challenge Cup game of this magnitude, as Kyle Briggs converts them smack bang in front, so it's a 6-0 lead for Rovers. But what a start for Rovers from the mistake from the Bulls. With Josh Hardcastle just able to pick up and stroll under those sticks. And that'll have been just what John Sharp will have wanted, Joanne.
I'm sure it is. Again, Featherstone sort of got up the field, like I said, by hook or by crook. There were a few, it wasn't clean play. There were a few errors in there that Featherstone had the look of the draw on, and that's a kick-off. That's a big kick-off, and that's a water splash there as Andrew Bostock takes it behind the post.
What a water splash!
It looks like he was going to go swimming in Sun Lane Baths there, the amount of water that came
up. My gosh.
So Featherstone on the Bradford 10-metre line now with James Lockwood. James Lockwood with making some metres forward, and Johnny Davis taking it himself. That's a good drive forward by John Davis. That's
great play out of that in half from Davis.
Certainly was. And Wildy at dummy half. He shows one way, goes the other, goes to Hardcastle. Hardcastle takes it 5 metres short of halfway line. It's the last tackle now. It goes to Wildy. Wildy kicks it through. It's bobbling along the floor to the 15 metres away from the Bradford line. It's picked up by Bradford, and the tackle comes in. So not a bad set there by Featherstone Rovers. Bradford bringing it away now. They're 5 metres short of their own 40-metre line.
It's Brandon Wilkinson driving that ball in, but look at that Rovers defence, though. 4 or 5 men in that tackle, pushing Wilkinson back. The ball's brought in field now by the Bulls, but good defence again from Rovers. Ball's worked out to his left-hand side. Price holds on. That looked forward to me. The ball's on this left-hand edge now with Ross Oates.
Have to be careful coming on these edges because Leon slipping to touch.
Leon Price puts that ball in the air. Ian Hardman does, not Hardman, sorry, it was taken by Duckworth, in fact. Did so well to take that as well. It seemed to change direction at the last minute, did that ball in the air. And now Rovers then bringing the ball out of their own 20 with Johnny Davis. He moves that ball in field. A good play from Rovers. It's Jason Walton. He will play that ball 25 out from his own line. And here goes Alunyan now.
That was a nice drive from Alunyan, wasn't it?
Getting up to that 40. Davis moves it out left again. Rovers attacking down that left-hand channel. They're on halfway now. Referee says that's the last tackle. So Johnny Davis on halfway. He'll swing that ball into Kyle Briggs. Briggs puts boot to ball. Doesn't find the turf, though. It's taken on the full by Ethan Ryan. Gives him a chance to make 5-10 metres on that return. So maybe not the best kick from Kyle Briggs there, Joanne.
No, I think with these kicks you need to be finding the ground at the very least, don't you? And that didn't. It went straight into Ryan's hands. So Bradford being able to bring that ball. They're still in their own half, though.
And here's Leon Price. Price with a drop-off pass, but good defence from Rovers, swarming round the Bulls at the minute. And the Bulls now on halfway. The ball's worked in field. It's a kick from Joe Keys over the top. That's a good kick. That turns Ian Hardman round. He picks it up in his own in-goal area. And he makes 10 metres and then another 5 with Bulls players on his back. So he's made 15 metres on that return. The ball's worked in field. Here come Rovers again. That was a great drive forward from Rovers, making good yards at the minute. There's a run from Atson half, back by Turner, but good defence. Quick play of the ball. Davis finds Cooper now. Great defence from the Bradford Bulls, though. Here's Andy Bostock. He gets up to halfway. That's the last tackle. So Davis, he will go left again with Briggs. Briggs drills that one along the floor. That's better. It's going to stay in the field of play, so Johnny Campbell has to return. And that was a good set from Featherstone Rovers.
It was up to the halfway line. Kyle Briggs with a much better kick that time. It went along the floor. Campbell had to stoop to pick it up, and the Rovers chase was there. So Bradford 22 metres away from their own line, having to bring it out. So looking for a good defensive set here from Featherstone.
Here are the Bulls then on their own 30. A scoop from Atson half. That was by Joe Lum, but Rovers alert to it and only a couple of metres really made. So the Bulls swing that ball in field now through the hands of Keys to Price. Price shows it once. That's awful play from Leon Price. The second time his passes looked to maybe drift a bit forward to me. But here he is now with boot to ball. He drills it down under the foot of Ian Hardman. It's going to run dead though. Ian Hardman didn't get a touch on it.
Says, sure if he'd got a touch with his foot then.
Ian Hardman says, sorry, referee Mr. Straw says no, so Hardman can restart on the 20, Joe.
Yeah. You can see the surface water as well. There's a lot of standing water, isn't there? Certainly in the Featherstone Rovers 20 and behind that try line.
It was noticeable when Andy Bostock took that ball, wasn't it?
It was top bombing, wasn't it, by Andy Bostock, that?
Here the Rovers are on halfway. With Mariano. A slow play of the ball to Davis. Here's Briggs now. Briggs with a drop-off pass to Lockwood. Into the Bulls half go Featherstone Rovers. Davis again. Briggs again. Finds Wildy. Wildy with a inside pass there to Luke Cooper. Rovers 35 out centre field. It's with Wildy again. He'll put a kick over the top. Turns Ethan Ryan round. That's a great kick, and even better, Joanne. Look at that chase from Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, Jason Walton in there with Stockton. A great chase by Featherstone Rovers. Bradford. Oh!
And a penalty for Featherstone.
On descent, the Bradford player thought that Featherstone Rovers didn't get off him enough. And something was said out of turn to Mr. Straw, and Mr. Straw's calling Leon Price, I do believe, out. Could have been him that said something.
It wouldn't surprise me. But on that, Bradford there wanting a penalty, but you can't speak out of turn to the referee, and he's having none of that.
And look where Featherstone Rovers are. John Davis is going to take the tap on the Bradford 10, so ideal opportunity here as James Lockwood drives it towards the post.
This is a massive opportunity to put a 2-score lead in place.
Yeah, he's 2 metres away. It goes to Davis. Davis out to the left to Briggs. Briggs out to Hardman. Hardman just had to check himself a minute when he took that ball. So still 5 metres away from the line of Featherstone Rovers. The ball's played. It goes out to Briggs. Briggs on the reverse pass to Bostock, who drives his legs forward. Still 5 metres away there, Featherstone Rovers. Davis passes to Lockwood, and there's a great mix-up there, and the ball, it's a penalty to Bradford, isn't it? Because it was an offside, in fact. Lockwood in an offside position there.
I was going to say earlier on, it shows when you have someone playing in at 9 who isn't a specialised hooker, you're seeing these mistakes creep in more and more, and that, you can understand that decision by John Sharp, but you're going to see errors creeping in occasionally, aren't you?
Well, it's just that it was an ideal opportunity, wasn't it? And it came to nothing there. So Bradford have taken that kick to touch, and the tap is on their own 30-metre line.
So here are the balls then. That ball's worked in field, but good defence from Rovers. The defensive Rovers system's impressing me at the minute. 2-3 men in every tackle, closing the balls down so quickly. It's a drive up again to Bradford. They're still a couple of metres short of halfway now. Ball's worked in field. Here's Leon Price again. Price through the hands to Johnny Campbell. Here are the Bulls, and into the Rovers half on the 40. Here's the last tackle, and says the referee. Again, a slow play of the ball, and a kick from Atts in half. I'm not so sure that's what Bradford will have wanted. Scott Turner does well to break one tackle.
But it was a decent kick though, Ben, that. It turned Scott Turner around. It's slippy down there. He had to pick it up off the floor, and Featherstone having to bring it from deep within their 10-metre area. So perhaps not a bad result for Bradford. Featherstone having to do it tough, but that's a great drive from James Duckworth.
He's had a good start to this game as Duckworth, hasn't he?
He's made a lot of good strides forward, and ball's going down that left-hand side.
Rovers just need to be careful. It's tight to the touchline there. And in these conditions, anything could happen. As here's Rovers going into Bradford half now. It's Ian Hardman. He will play the ball to Davis, and here's Briggs out to Wildy. Wildy will put boot to ball, centre field. Along the ground, turns around, Johnny Campbell and slips. That lets the ball travel back a couple of metres. That was a good kick from Wildy.
Great kick, wasn't it? And Bradford 2 metres away from their own line, having to bring it up. So it's just a reminder of the score. It's Bradford Bulls 0, Featherstone Rovers 6 after 15 minutes of this game gone now.
And here are the Bulls just outside their own 10. Ball's worked down to this left-hand edge. But good defence from Featherstone. And there's a penalty for Bradford though. Holding down too much in the tackle. That goal came from a lot of the Bradford fans in front of us, and the referee decided it was a penalty.
I think it was, to be fair. Scott Turner was took a long time to get up off the Bradford player there. I think you could safely say it was a penalty. It's Peltier now for Bradford. So Bradford are 42 metres away from the Featherstone line. There's another penalty.
Need to be careful here, the Featherstone Rovers.
Andy Bostock, I think it was just having another push down onto Peltier. So Bradford go forward another 20 metres up the field. They're only 25 metres away from the Featherstone line now. These add back-to-back penalties here. So danger time for Featherstone. Brandon
Wilkinson plays that ball on the 20. It's worked in field. Good defence though from Featherstone Rovers. On Joe Macrin. Ball's with Leon Price. Price moves that ball out wide, but it is put down by Bradford, and Rovers are able to pick it up. So I was worried that was going to be a penalty try, but good defence from Rovers, and they now can bring that ball out with Scott Turner on this near side.
Yeah, that was poor play by Bradford there. Ball going to ground, poor pass, and Featherstone Rovers survive that onslaught by Bradford after those 2 back-to-back penalties. So here they are with James Lockwood, who's taken it up to the 40. It comes across now with Cooper to Briggs to Mariano. Mariano tussling with the Bradford defenders, takes it up to the halfway line.
This is a good set for Rovers, making a lot of yards here.
It's a penalty to leg?
Hey?
Well, I don't know. That's what he seems to be indicating there.
Yeah.
Unless he's doing an Irish jig in the middle of the field, he's picking up his leg as the referee. So I'm saying that Mariano...
Seen a lot of this season, haven't we? A lot of penalties going against the attacking teams in the play the ball this year.
Bradford going to get the tap here now, 22 metres out away from that Featherstone line, and they've lost the ball. It's a free play. And Featherstone now lose the ball as well. As they tried to get it out quickly to the left-hand side, Mariano went without the ball, so it's going to be a put-in at the scrum anyway to Featherstone Rovers on that 20-metre line.
Rovers trying to play the usual expansive game there on the free play, throw the ball out wide.
You can't...
Not in these conditions, it's not going to work, is
That's
it?
True. You've got nothing to lose on a free play, so you might as well give it a try. But yeah, Frankie went without the ball there, didn't he? So scrum down on the Featherstone Rovers 20-metre line.
We've just short of 20 minutes even here at the Providence Stadium in Odsall. It's Bradford Bulls 0, Featherstone Rovers 6. And Joanne, there's your differential penalty.
I love a differential penalty, mate. It's one of my favourites.
And Kyle Briggs takes it, gets Rovers up to halfway.
I was watching the 83 semi-final the other day, and there was plenty of differentials in that.
I bet you were salivating with that one, weren't you?
Oh, I was. It contested scrum.
What a drive that is!
Great drive by Featherstone Rovers and Frankie Mariano.
Briggs
30
now.
metres away from the Bradford line. Cooper with the ball. He plays the ball to Davis. Davis to Bostock. Bostock to Wildy, to Hardcastle. It's coming over to this right-hand centre. So 15 metres away from the Bradford line of Featherstone now as the ball's played. It comes across to Lockwood. Lockwood with a forward pass.
Bostock there, putting that ball down. 15 metres away he was. The pass, the ball though put down by Andy Bostock, so it's going to be a scrum down heading feed on the Bulls 10. And Rovers there had a great opportunity there, Joanne.
They certainly did, and again it's these conditions, you've got to respect them, haven't you? And I don't think it was there, and I mean it is shocking looking at the rain out there. It's no surprise that there's balls being put to ground. It's just frustrating when it's in that area of the pitch. But Bradford coming away now on their own 20-metre line with Peltier. Lockwood in hard on him though, and good tackle by Cooper and Lockwood on Peltier. Coming across to the left of Bradford, that's a decent run there by Bradford, and they're making it towards that halfway line. Price, I think Price has got the cleanest jersey on the field. He's obviously a goal distributor, isn't he?
Not much of a tackler on a driver, didn't take the tackle, is he? Here's Ethan, not Ryan, sorry, it's Joe Keys who puts boot to ball. That's going to run dead though, so it's going to be a restart for Rovers on the 20. The Bulls have made a change.
Yeah, it was too strong was that kick, wasn't it? They had the wind behind it and it went dead, so Featherstone going to get that 20-metre tap.
It was a good first drive in, it was by Turner, made 10 metres.
And here's James Duckworth with another good drive, and he makes it up to halfway, so the two wingers doing some good work out there at the moment.
Indeed, and Rovers now into the Bulls half the go with Jason Walton, who knocks a Bradford player down. He's made another 15 metres as Cooper comes off for Rovers. Here's Andy Bostock now. He gets the ball away to Davis, but a forward pass.
Forward pass to Bostock there, and Bostock looks to be injured down on the floor. Let's hope it's not too serious. And we've also got, is it James Duckworth over there that's laid down on the floor?
Indeed. I don't know if
physio knows to go to first, really.
I don't know if he's hurt or frustrated. I think he is hurt.
No, he's hurt.
But it was the way he was thumping the ground, it was almost like he was frustrated as well just for a minute then. Darryl Griffin's the one who's come on for Luke Cooper.
I think he's in some pain. I think that's why he's thumping the ground, James.
It's just the way he was doing it just for a minute, that's all. I wasn't sure if it's... You know what I mean?
Yeah, Billy Mallinson's just gone up to him and he says that he's okay. He should be able to run it off by the looks of it. So that's okay at the moment. Bostock just having some treatment down there.
We've had 22 minutes here at the Providence Stadium in Bradford. Still Bradford Bulls 0, Featherstone Rovers 6. Just the one try for Rovers, scored by Josh Hardcastle and converted by Kyle Briggs. And Bostock looks to be okay.
Yeah, he's packing down into the scrum there. So Bradford with Leon Price. Well, I was going to say about to put the ball into the scrum, but
Rovers
not happy with the way that Rovers are packing down. And
I think there were a man light in the scrum, and he's just said that we needed to get the 6 man in. So here are the Bulls though now, with Johnny Campbell. Bradford have also made an interchange. Liam Kirk has come on. So the ball's worked out towards this left-hand side again, with Brandon Wilkinson again, who's knocked that ball on, but a penalty, says the referee. So the Bulls are going to get more yardage here, Joanne.
I
think he said there was a hand in.
A hand in the tackle there. So, yeah, Bradford picking up quite a few penalties against Featherstone here. So the tap's going to be on the 20-metre line.
Ross Oakes takes that tap, and it's worked inside to Peltier. Peltier driving for that line. He's 12 metres out centre field. He will play that ball. It's not sure it's meant for the went to there, but it has found the Bulls. Brandon Walker, who will play that ball. Here's Leon Price now. Price shows it once and tries to go himself. He offloads the ball, but superb read from Featherstone Rovers there.
Frankie Mariano very quick on the ball there. Leon Price trying to offload it, trying to force the pass, and it went to ground, but Mariano was the first to react and dived on it. So Featherstone once again survive a Bradford attack in.
I think it shows that Rovers have got Bradford rattled. They're struggling to break down this Rovers defence, as Rovers now have lost that ball, and it's a penalty to Featherstone now.
Andy Bostock's just left the field.
It's Darryl Griffin who lost that ball in the tackle, but the referee said no. It was Richard Moore, I think, who's come on.
It is Richard Moore that's replaced Andy Bostock.
It's a tap by Rovers.
Richard Moore's going to drive the ball forward now. He takes it over the halfway line. The ball's played Davis to Griffin. Griffin gets met by Peltier and another Bradford player there. As the ball's played, it comes out to Wildy. Wildy on the inside to Walton. But the Bradford defence is holding firm. 25 metres away from the Bradford line of Featherstone here. Davies passes it to Briggs, and it's a run around with Briggs. Briggs gets the ball out, and it's a wave play on. It goes to the ground, and it's wave play on as Hardman picks it up. Hardman 12 metres away from that Bradford line.
Nice little run around there involving Kyle Briggs over on that far side.
It's a forward pass though. It's a poor pass by John Davis there. It's forward to Darryl Griffin, and we should be expecting better than that at that area of the field, shouldn't we really? It's going to be a Bradford scrum on the 10-metre line.
We should, and that one was Plumper's day. There's been a couple of, shall we say, dubious ones on the Bradford side earlier on in this match, but that one was probably as Plumper's day.
It was, and you know, we could say, although the rain has temporarily stopped here, let's add, we could say, you know, the conditions are difficult for handling, but we should be looking for a better pass than that to lay off to the forward to drive it to the post. Anyway, Bradford with it on their own 10-metre line, so they survive a Featherstone attack that time.
Defence is on top at the minute though, isn't it? And here are Bradford. Another slow play of the ball there. Driving it into the Bulls, but good defence from Rovers. Once again dumping the Bulls to the floor there. The Bulls attack the short side now. Towards McCartney.
That's a penalty to Bradford though.
We've seen a lot of penalties creeping in the wrong areas for Featherstone, John. They're pinning Bradford back. They're doing really well defensively, 2 or 3 tackles, and then conceding penalties and giving Bradford cheap yards. They
are indeed. It's not great, is it? Bradford now on the 40-metre line. That's a good tackle there though by Darryl Griffin.
It was Liam Kirk with that first drive in, and here are the Bulls now. But good defence again from Rovers. Brandon Wilkinson, he's having a great game for the Bulls in the second row. He plays that ball, and it's through the hands to Leon Price. Price out to Campbell. Campbell takes on the line. He's able to get away from Walton, but not able to get away from the next two that were in. Plays the ball to Leon Price. Price through the hands it goes. Here's Peltier now. He's put that ball down. So it's going to be head and feet to Rovers on their own 20. So once again, Featherstone, the defence stands firm. We've got 12 minutes left in the first half, and it's Bradford Bulls nil, Featherstone Rovers 6.
The thing is, with these conditions, all you need to do is put a hard tackle in and the ball goes free, and that's just what Featherstone Rovers are doing. They're getting in the breadbasket, the ball's coming loose from those tough challengers, and Featherstone Rovers with a scrum then just short of their own 20-metre line. They're holding it in the scrum. The referee doesn't give a
know what they were trying to do there, don't you?
I think they were looking for an offside decision there, but it didn't come. So Featherstone bringing it with Lockwood. Lockwood takes it up to the 30-metre line, plays the ball quickly, and it goes to Darryl Griffin. It goes a further 10 metres up to the 40-metre line. It comes across now to Richard Moore. Richard Moore turning in the tackle, but he's got the offload away to Sam Day. It comes across to the left now with Chris Alunya. Chris Alunya so elusive as we know this season. So Featherstone 28 metres away from that Bradford line. Matty Wildy shows and nearly went through. It's the last tackle. The ball's played Day out to the left to Briggs. Briggs puts a little kick.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's back to one. So Featherstone going to get another set here.
What a beautiful kick from Briggs.
To Richard Moore. Richard Moore going for the line. Almost slides over the line, and it's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers for Bradford offside.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Another set of six here. They're going to tap the ball. Here's Sam Day, who's come on the field. He taps the ball to Lockwood. Lockwood fends one player off, and he brings it 2 metres short of the Bradford line. Ball's played now. Comes out to the right to Wildy. Wildy with a shot pass to Walton. And it bounces out, does the ball. So Bradford surviving that. Once again, it was a very short, fast pass. And it just ricocheted from Walton, didn't it? Perhaps a little bit too hard was that pass for him.
It was a good play, though. And I think now that it's Johnny Davis who's gone off and Sam Day who's come on for Rovers, I think we'll see a bit of a difference in the Rovers ruck play now as well, Joanne. Sammy Day is a specialised hooker. Johnny Davis maybe not so much. I think we'll see a bit more swiftness, if you like, how to play the ball. And I think Rovers, that just might step up Rovers' game again, maybe.
It might do. Good, ferocious Featherstone Rovers tackling in there on Bradford. Bradford are only 15 metres away from their own line, and again Lockwood in hard, and Bradford on their own 20-metre comes into the middle of the field, and there's 4 Featherstone Rovers tacklers in that tackle.
Two Bulls players almost went for that same pass then, but one of them took charge. Here's Leon Price.
It was an early kick, was that, from Bradford? It goes straight down the throat to Scott Turner. He catches it in the field of play.
That's a good return there. It's made about 20 metres there, Scott Turner.
So Featherstone are going to get, with Jason Walton, are going to get into the Bradford half very easily there. So it was a poor set from Bradford.
They've still got 4 tackles in hand of Featherstone.
That goes to Griffin. It's not the best of passes to Griffin there. It was a bit flat, and he had to catch it behind him anyway. It goes out to the right to Wildy. Wildy to Hardman to Walton. But Walton's wrapped up by the Bradford defence, but he carries on going. He takes it over the 20-metre line. Plays the ball. Sam Day gets it out to Hardcastle. Hardcastle shows it and takes it forward himself. It's the last tackle. Featherstone on the Bradford 10-metre. Comes to Wildy. Wildy across to Briggs, who drops the ball. So that attack again comes to nothing. Completion rates not exactly high this afternoon, Ben.
No, and Rovers have made a change as well. Brad Tark has come on for James Lockwood. So all 4 Rovers interchanges on. What a mistake from Bradford. They played the ball to nobody. And what an opportunity here for Featherstone. Here's Richard Moore now.
What were Bradford doing there?
I've got no idea, but Rovers with an out. Oh, what an opportunity we've got now. in the Bradford 10. Here goes Brad Tagg on the drive. Driving for those sticks. He's 5 metres away. Sammy Day now moves the ball out to Briggs to the left. Briggs changes direction to Hardman. Hardman tries to step inside. He's well wrapped up though by Peltier. Sam Day now finds Darryl Griffin on the charge. 5 metres away. Here's the last tackle. Day. He's got himself. He's held up. Oh. Superb effort from Sammy Day.
It was on though because the Bradford players, there was a little gap there. Sam Day, we've seen him do it before, haven't we? Was going for that play over the line. He didn't get it though. And Bradford bring the ball for that tap from their own 10 metre. That's great defence by Featherstone Rovers, driving the Bradford player back though.
And all that came from the mistake that Bradford made of playing the ball to nobody, and Rovers were just so alert to that and got the ball back. Here's McCartney though, plays the ball. There's Leon Price. He doesn't look like he's done anything today, does he? With a white shirt on. Here's McCartney again now, brings that ball in field. Outstanding defence from Featherstone Rovers. It's a kick from acting half from Joe Keys. Outstanding work from Duckworth. He slipped before he took the ball, and he was still able to take that ball. He's turning now, flows to Briggs. Briggs is through a gap. Rovers on the charge at the minute. Here's Wildy. He finds Hardcastle now. Rovers back on the Bradford 20. Sammy Day finds Richard Moore. Wasn't the best pass. Wasn't the best take either. So Rovers have lost momentum on that play. Need to be careful. Here's Alunya. It's a forward pass again. So for the second time this afternoon, Rovers in a great attacking position in the Bulls 20, and a forward pass has let them down.
Forward passes galore by Featherstone this afternoon, aren't there? And now we've got dissent, so the referee is giving a penalty to Bradford. I think it could have been Darryl Griffin that had a little chat with the referee there. He didn't like what he heard, so in the last 5 minutes of this first half, you don't want to be giving penalties like that away for dissent when Bradford are on their own sort of 20 metre line. They're now going to be playing this ball from the tap inside the Featherstone Rovers half. Indeed so. 5 minutes left to half time. It's still Bradford 0, Featherstone Rovers 6. Good defence on Rovers though. It's been like a brick wall at times, our defence this afternoon, hasn't it? Which really hard, haven't they? The ball's worked out to that right-hand side for the Bulls, and it's good attack. But again, good defence from Featherstone Rovers. Here are the Bulls on the charge now. Ball's worked in field. Finds Leon Price. Price to a gap. Passes, it's juggled, but he holds on. And here's the last tackle. So the ball comes left. It's Joe Keys. He'll put one over the top. It's well taken though by Jason Walton from Featherstone Rovers. And once again, Rovers bringing that ball out now with Scott Turner. And once again, Joanne, Bradford can't get through. No, did Jason Walton there. He was under quite a bit of pressure. It was a little dink over the top, and he managed to leap and catch it in front of everybody else. So Featherstone survived that set of 6 by Bradford. That's another forward pass by Featherstone Rovers though. What is going on this afternoon?
I was just about to ask you the same thing.
Absolutely crazy. But yeah, another forward pass by Featherstone Rovers. Bradford going to get this scrum on the Featherstone 30.
I think John Sharp's going to have quite a lot to say at half-time, shall we say. I think maybe to do with all these forward passes that's sneaking in. And it's cardinal sin when you're in opposition 20 attacking, but to do it on your own 30, you're inviting pressure basically, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but Bradford anyway with the ball, so they get another chance, another attack out that Featherstone Rovers line. They're 22 metres away.
And here is the drive in from Bentley. He's got to within 15 metres, centre field. Ball swung right through the hands. It's Leon Price. But good defence again from Featherstone Rovers. 10 metres out, 10 metres in from touch on that right hand side. Ball swung in field again, but swarming defence from Rovers. Bradford just can't find a way through at the minute. They've got an opportunity though on that right hand side. What a tackle from Mariano. The Bradford Bulls on the last tackle now. And there's a kick through. It's off the post. It's picked up by Matty Wildy, of all people. But what a tackle it was, Joanne, from Mariano on that far side.
Certainly a try-saving tackle, wasn't it, over there? And the Featherstone defence has been outstanding. What we've lacked in attack with forward passes and balls going to ground, we've certainly made up for in defence, haven't we?
It's been absolutely outstanding for Rovers today. Defensively, they've just been unpenetrable almost. And here they are on the attack now, bringing that ball out just up to the 40. Ball is played to Stam Day. It's Kyle Briggs. He will drill that ball downfield. He'll turn round McCartney, make him retreat back to his 10. That's a great step from Rovers and a great kick from Kyle Briggs.
Briggs, wasn't it? Turned McCartney round, had to pick it up, and Bradford bringing it away from their own 20-metre line here.
We're inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. It's still Bradford Bulls 0, Featherstone Rovers 6. McCartney takes on that line, but there's just nowhere for Bradford to go at all at the moment. 3-4 men in every tackle for Rovers, and you can see the frustration starting to set into the Bulls. And here they are on their own 40 now. The ball's swung left. Out to Leon Price, who moves it out further. That's better play from Bradford. It's Ross Oakes, but great defence again.
Tackle by Jason Walton, though, wasn't it? And here's the kick from Leon Price. It goes deep into the 10-metre line. Ian Harmon picks it up on his own try line. He brings it over. He's got a wall of white in front of him from Bradford.
That'll do for Featherstone Rovers, though.
That was a good chase by Bradford Bulls on that particular. It was a good kick. So Featherstone, with James Duckworth, only 5 metres away from their own try line. They're having to do it tough here and bring it out. It goes over to the left to Mariano. Mariano again is met though by 2 Bradford tacklers and still only 12 metres away from their own line.
It's a good drive in.
Mariano, wasn't it?
That's a good drive in there by Mariano that time. And here are Rovers then on the charge, just shy of their own 40-metre line now. The ball swung in field to Matty Wildy now. Well inside the 40, but the kick is centre field. It's taken on the bounce on this near side though by Ethan Ryan, who slows up as he approaches that Rovers attacking line, defensive line, sorry. And here's Johnny Campbell now, and Bradford just they don't know what to do they, John?
No, and the half-time hoot is about to go now, so as McCartney kicks it through, Featherstone needs to be alert here, and
Ian Hardman, safe as you like.
Hardman, he collects the ball, picks it up, and he gets tackled, so that's the half-time hoot there. Low scoring first half, it's Bradford Bulls 0, Featherstone Rovers 6. We've just had the one try, which was the Josh Hardcastle try on 9 minutes, where the ball came to ground. The ball came to ground. Josh Hardcastle picked it up and scampered and scored under the throws, and Briggs converted. So not a lot went on to report on in that first half, apart from lots of forward passes and drop balls. And some very good defence by Featherstone Rovers.
That's probably been the most pleasing aspect of this first half from the Rovers' point of view, has been the defence. Yes, there's been a lot of mistakes, a lot of forward passes inviting pressure, but every time Bradford have had the ball, Rovers are moving up so quickly, getting in the face of Bradford so quickly, and it means that Bradford are struggling to find a way and find the plays to break this Rovers defence down. And it showed in the frustration at the end of that first half with Ethan Ryan. As he ran that ball in, he just didn't know what to do. And he slowed down and he almost lost that desire to try and break the line.
Certainly, I think going into the second half, Featherstone just need to find out what they're doing in attack. Look at these forward passes that they're doing, whatever's happening out there, because these forward passes even continued after Don Davis had left the field, so they weren't solely down to him. I'm not sure what's going on with the forward passes, to be honest, but certainly seen a lot. The completion rate's been appalling, which, to be honest, when you look at the conditions out there, is hardly surprising. It's not conducive for a great game of rugby league out there today. Featherstone Rovers have got the wind at their backs in the second half and the rain. That's perhaps the only plus thing for them.
I think the main thing today from a Rovers point of view is the result. If Rovers can get the result today, I don't think John Sharp in these conditions will be worrying too much about completion rates or anything like that. You know, he'll be so pleased with the defensive effort that we've had in this first half. But if Rovers can maintain that defensive effort, maybe need another try at least, just to give them that cushion, to give them a 2-score cushion. If they can get that, and I think Rovers will go on, I think this will be, could end up being more comfortable.
Yeah, certainly it'd be good to get a quick score in that second half, won't it, Bradford have looked very disjointed as well. Let's just say that they're doing a lot of work around Leon Price. He's the main pivot for Bradford. And some of his balls haven't been fantastic this afternoon either. It's just horrendous. I wish I could show you a video of what we can see now from our view in the main stand. It's just horizontal rain. There's some poor girls dancing out there, and they don't understand what on earth are we doing?
Bullman's just rolled the ball, kicks the ball towards the centre spot quite hard, and they hit the centre spot and just stopped dead.
I think the highlight of the first half had to be Andy Bostock's.
It was awesome.
Down behind the sticks, though, wasn't it?
We're going to have to make sure that's on the highlights clip. And if you do, make sure you watch that, folks. It's well worth a laugh.
I hope the photographers have got a really nice image of all the water splashing up as he went down there. But anyway, it's Bradford Bulls 0, Featherstone Rovers 6 here at the Providence Stadium in Odsall.
I need to go and wet my whistle.
We're going to get a drink now, and we'll be joining you back in a few minutes. So don't go away. Go make yourselves a cup of tea, have a beer, whatever you fancy doing, and we'll join you again in a few minutes and for this second half. Welcome back, and here we have the Featherstone Rovers team coming out in blue and white in the second half. We've seen this before, haven't we, where we have a half-time colour change. So
I think they've probably got...
We're in red in the first half, and they're in blue and white for the second half.
I think the way those red shirts are probably so wet, they'll probably have to peel them off their bodies, I think. Here come the Bulls.
You really ought to get a second kit that's of the same colour, really, didn't you, for these kit changes? Anyway, Featherstone Rovers in blue and white for this second half.
Say one thing, the timekeepers like to let us know we're here, don't they?
I certainly do. So
Rovers are going to get first use of the ball in this second half, Joanne.
Certainly are, and the rain is still coming down, and it's in Bradford's faces this second half, as you probably heard us talk about in the previous 40. So the kickoff comes.
It's a flat one. It's taken on the bounce by Briggs. He finds Darryl Griffin. Griffin drives that ball in. And that's a good drive from Darryl Griffin. He makes 5 metres with 2 Bradford players on his back. Here's Richard Moore. Sam Day's still out there for Rovers as well. He moves that ball in out wide to Brad Tagg, and that's a good defence from the Bulls. So the ball comes out left again. Here's Mariano on the charge. That's 4 tackles down. Sam Day moves that ball in field now. Here's Kyle Briggs, the drop off pass to Brad Tagg again. That's the last tackle. A quick play the ball though. Here's Briggs, he dinks it over the top. That's a good first set to the second half for Featherstone Rovers. Going through the motions, a good kick from Kyle Briggs, finding touch just the right side of the corner flag, Joe.
That was a great set of 6 by Featherstone that took the kick off deep in their own half. They've made it up to the other end of the field, and a nice sensible kick there by Kyle Briggs, just going into touch a few metres away from the try line. So Bradford have got this scrum on their own 10-metre line, and they're having to bring it away. That's good game management by Featherstone early in this second half.
Johnny Campbell plays that ball. Good defence from Rovers, moving up on the balls quickly. Leon Price that's in half-back on that occasion. It's an interesting one. Here's Joe Lum, though, waited, that's in half, but good defence again from the Rovers. The ball's worked in field, and Bradford just can't seem to get through this Featherstone defence at all at the minute. Griffin involved with that tackle with Sam Day. Here it is, attacking down this right-hand side of the Bulls, but on the last tackle, the Bulls are still trapped in their own 40. It's in field to Joe Keys. On the bounce by Turner. Turner returns that ball. He will start on his own 40. And that's a great start to the second half for Rovers, Joe. Both in attack and in defence.
It certainly was. That was a great defensive set. We've got James Duckworth being picked up there, and they let go of him just in time. So it comes out to Briggs to Mariano, takes it into the Bradford half, right up to the Bradford 40. It was a good drive by Frankie Mariano that, as he plays the ball, it comes to Brad Tagg. Spoke to Brad Tagg on Thursday night. He was keen to get back out there in the Featherstone shirt after having a couple of games out. Briggs now shows it, takes it himself, so it's the last tackle. Just over 20 metres away from the Bradford line. It's going to come to Wildy. Wildy puts a little kick over the top, but it goes straight into the arms of Campbell. So not the best kick by Wildy on the last there. Not the best choice, was it, Ben?
Not the best way to finish the set. And I'm surprised as well, Joanne, that Kyle Briggs took that ball in that led to the last tackle, because by doing so, he eliminated himself from being involved in that last tackle play.
However, there's a knock-on by Bradford on their own 20-metre line.
What an opportunity this is for the Rovers now. A mistake from the Bradford Bulls on their own 20. So scrum down, head and feed on that 20-metre line, and what an option here for Rovers. Rovers can get an early scorer in this second half.
Complete the set would be good, Ben.
A score would be even better.
It would.
Kyle Briggs plays that ball out to the back of the bar. It's Sam Day to Alunya. So Sam Day waits. Rovers 11 metres out. Sam Day finds Briggs. Briggs finds Richard Moore. Richard Moore on the charge. Rovers 10 metres out. 12 in from touch. Here's Darryl Griffin now. That's a good drive from Griffin. He's still going with 3 men on his back. He's held up a metre short. Plays the ball to Day. Day out to Briggs. Briggs to Ian Hardman. Hardman to Alunya. Alunya nowhere to go. Good defence from the Bulls. Sam Day again now. Briggs. Briggs finds Brad Tagg. Here's the last tackle for Rovers. Day looking towards that right-hand side with Wildy. Wildy. Rovers have got men over as it's gone behind. Is it back to one? It is. So the referees wipe the tackle count clean. And there's a quick play the ball. Rovers are over! That's given it a knock on. That was never in this world a knock on, Joanne.
Well, the ref's closer to the action than us, but it's given a... Hey, Sam Day got over the line there, but I'm not sure exactly what it was that happened in the build-up to that. Anyway, Bradford have got the ball. They've taken the 20-metre tap and they made it up to the 40-metre line.
What an opportunity that was for Rovers. And here are the Bulls now. That's a let-off. And the Bulls are now on halfway. Campbell. Well wrapped up again though by Rovers. Balls with Joe Keys. He kicks over the top. Finds the ground. Hardman. and Turner between them recover it. Turner picks up, he will return that ball. That's a good play from Scott Turner. It's knocked the ball on now, and the Bulls are going to have their first opportunity of this second half. A mistake by Scott Turner, and the Bulls have got a scrum 15 metres out. Smack bang in front of those sticks, Joanne.
From one end of the field to the other, we had Sam Day with an almost certain try. It looked as though he'd gone over the line with it, but the referee was right there. He said that Sam Day had knocked on. Bradford took the 20-metre tap. They made it up the field. Scott Turner there managed to get the ball back for the Rovers, but knocked on. So Bradford in a very dangerous position for Featherstone Rovers. They're 12 metres away from that Featherstone line.
And that first tackle is taken by Johnny Campbell. He plays that ball. The ball's worked in field. Good defence again from Rovers. Here's Keys. Keys moves, shows it and goes himself, but he runs straight into Darryl Griffin, and he's not getting anywhere against Darryl Griffin. Slow play the ball though. And here are the Bulls attacking. Ball's out here now on this right hand edge, with John Magrin. He's a couple of metres short. He'll play the ball to Keys. Keys finds Leon Price. Price offloads that ball.
It's the last tackle.
And there's a stop inside. It's Evan Hodgson for the Bradford Bulls, able to step inside that Rovers defence. And we've had 7.5 minutes gone here in the second half. Bradford Bulls 4, Featherstone Rovers 6.
It was the last tackle, Ben. The ball came back to Leon Price. Leon Price had nowhere to go. The Featherstone chasers were there, but he still managed to get the ball away. They didn't wrap him up upstairs. He got the ball away, and Evan Hodgson took the ball from Leon Price, and he managed to evade the Featherstone tacklers, and he went under the sticks. So as we said, gone from one end of the field to the other, have Featherstone there from that chance with Sam Day over the line. Bradford have managed to get up to the other end after the mistake by Scott Turner, and they've scored, and they're surely going to level the scores here as they've got a conversion attempt under the posts.
It's going to be Joe Keys with that conversion attempt. So all Rovers' hard work in that first half undone there, and here is Keys' kick now. Straight between the uprights he goes. So we've had 8.5 minutes here in the second half at the Providence Stadium, and it's Bradford Bulls 6, Featherstone Rovers 6. Game on.
Against the run of play totally, wasn't it, really, that try? Featherstone have come out in his second half looking really good. Almost made it over the try line with Sam Day. And then the trouble is you can't make an error, as Scott Turner did, in your own 20 metre without something happening. Although it looks like
the Bulls have made a howler.
Bradford have made a mess of the kick-off. They spilt the ball, it's gone dead, so it's going to be a dropout from under the sticks. And in these conditions, and with the amount of surface water down there under the sticks, it's not going to be a great one for Bulls to take, is it? This?
What a howler from the kick-off. It was a good kick-off from Briggs. In fact, it made all the way to the try line, but the Bulls couldn't take it in. Bounced off the shoulder and went dead. There's the kick-off, though. Picked up on that far side by Scott Turner. You can see the surface water on the pitch bouncing up as the players are running. The Rovers have got set here in the Bulls 30. Here goes Jason Walton into the 20. He goes. What an opportunity here for Rovers to hit straight back. Sam Day finds Richard Moore now. Moore gets up to the 10. Inside the 10, Andy Bostock's back on for Rovers. Day goes right there, Wildy. And good defence though from the Bradford Bulls. Still going though, Rovers.
Josh Hardcastle there, getting close to the line.
Sam Day tries to go himself, but well wrapped up. It's the last tackle now then, which means Matty Wildy in his hats in halfback. Finds Briggs. Briggs stabs one through. Tag's chasing it. but it has run dead, so it's going to be a restart for the Bulls on the 20.
Well watched by Bradford, wasn't it? They've taken the quick tap and
that is awful by McCartney.
They've survived it though, our Bulls.
What is Ilias McCartney doing there? He took the ball from first receiver and passed it behind him, behind nobody really.
I think he thought Chris Alunya was one of his fellow players, but yeah, he passed it to the floor. But Bradford has survived it, and Scott Moore's on the field now for Bradford.
The most easily recognisable player on the field.
Yeah.
Here is Moore now, have a scoop from Acton half. But good defence from Rovers. Brad tagging that tackle. So here's the Bulls then, just shy of halfway now.
The last tackle for Bradford.
Scott Moore moves that ball to Leon Price, who'll drill it downfield. Hardman right behind it, as you'd expect Ian Hardman to be. He'll return that ball in, but good chase as well from the Bulls, led by Scott Moore. Hardman plays the ball to Turner. The ball's come out left now. Here are Rovers on that charge. Duckworth it is.
It's changed for the Featherstone Rovers. Leaving the field, number 17, Sam Day, being replaced by number 12, John Davis.
And John Davis is also back on for Rovers. Sam Day has gone off. Kyle Brigson attacked in half back on that occasion. Rovers now 8 metres short of halfway.
Good
Davis.
by Jason Walton there, wasn't it? In the
Briggs drills that downfield, but good play from McCartney. Read that kick superbly. He was right behind that one all the way. And this is becoming a really fascinating game, John.
It's like almost a battle of attrition out there, isn't it? And obviously the scores are level, so Bradford appealing for something in that tackle. I couldn't see quite what had happened, but the referee waves play on. Bradford just bringing it up towards the halfway line, and the
Rovers have knocked on by Bradford. So what an opportunity Featherstone Rovers have got, and this game could down to discipline, Joe, as well.
So Featherstone Rovers are going to have, they're putting out this scrum just inside the Bradford half.
So important that both teams keep the discipline in and around their own 20-30 metre areas as that
so here
scrum is fed.
The scrum, and John Davies takes it from the back of the scrum, but he's caught by Bradford tackler. It's 42 metres away from the line. It comes over to the left here, and Lockwood drives it in. Gets tackled. Comes across to Bostock, who's back on the field. Bostock 22 metres away from the Bradford line. It's a slow play, the ball goes across to Briggs to Mariano. Mariano gets wrapped up just short of the 10 metre line. Davies to Bostock in the middle of the field. He gets the ball away, it goes to ground, but Wildy picks it up, but Featherstone have lost a little bit of ground there. It's the last tackle, and the 15 metres away from the Bradford line. Davies in at dummy half, goes to Briggs, it goes for the drop goal.
Oh, yes.
And the drop goal goes over, so that's puts Featherstone Rovers back in the lead.
Bulls.
Bradford Bulls 6, Featherstone Rovers 7.
I heard one or two bulls from the boos there from the Bulls fans around us. Clever play though from Kyle Briggs, recognising how tight a game this is. Going for the 1 pointer, it gives Rovers such an edge. And it's now Bradford 6, Featherstone 7.
With 25 minutes remaining in this game, there's still a long way to go, but it does put Featherstone Rovers back in front. Their noses back in front just by that 1 point as Bradford take the kick-off. It's a deep one. I think it's John Davies, traps it but misses it, but manages to regather it, thankfully. So always a little bit nervous when the kick-offs go deep into the try zone, but Alunya now.
Butterworth is on for the Bulls as well.
25 metres away from his own try line. Alunya is wrestled quite a bit, and Mariano now with the ball. 10 metres short of halfway line. Comes with Richard Moore, and it's a forward pass from John Davies.
That was more forward.
I didn't think that looked forward. I think that the touch judge or the referees listening to the crowd there. They all shouted forward, but we've seen quite a few in this game, but I didn't think that was, Ben. I don't know about you.
That was no more forward than any of the ones in the first half that were given. And not given, in fact, from the Bulls in the first half as well. I think you're right. The touch judges and referee are being influenced, possibly, or listening to the fans around them, because for me, that was not forward, Joanne. And the Bulls now, in the Rovers 40, have an opportunity to attack. And Rovers now need to keep the defence tight, keep the discipline strong. Discipline is key at the minute, as they are. Here come the Bulls now, through Johnny Campbell. Into the Bulls, into the Rovers 30 he goes. It's 25 out, it's centre field. He will play that ball now to Scott Moore. Ball works out left, and here are the Bulls in the 20 now. No penalties from Featherstone. Moore again. And there's an early kick through. Ian Hardman.
Well played,
does so well to cover that, Joanne.
Again, it was heart in the mouth moment. That kick came through from Bradford. Hardman got his body around it. It's so difficult in these conditions to take balls like that. He got his body around it, took the ball, but he did slide over the try line and got tackled in the in-goal area, so it will be a dropout. So Featherstone going to take this dropout. They're taking the time with it at the moment.
Ian Hardman, though, such a massively influential player for the Rovers. Read that play superbly and able to get across for the kick. The dropout's taken, almost makes it to halfway, and here come the Bulls again now. They're going to have a full set in the Rovers 40. We've got 22 and a half minutes left on the clock. Rovers with the lead by a point. Scott Moore waits. He'll come to the right-hand side. Keys moves it further out wide.
That looks forward from Bradford, but they're 10 metres away from the Featherstone line. It's a quick play. The ball comes into the middle of the field.
Johnny Campbell, it is, driving it in. Ball swung out right with Joe Keys. He'll drive a kick through. Well read by Duckworth, though. Able to dive on that ball and recover it. Rovers survive again, and here's Ian Hardman now. Away from one, he makes it to 10 metres. It's a good drive in from Ian Hardman. There's a penalty for Rovers, and Rovers will take that one very nicely, Joanne.
Yeah, it was, to be honest, Bradford have been messing around in the ruck so much in this second half, and there's been no penalties given, and eventually the referee's lost his patience with Bradford, and I don't think
no. Kyle Briggs has not found touch, has come nowhere near it, in fact. And McCartney has run that ball in. I think he's hurt. The referee has stopped the clock.
It was a very bad. It was Kyle Briggs, I think, there that went in for that tackle. I think he was frustrated with himself after his kick to touch, and it looked a pretty bad shot by Kyle Briggs, I must admit there, Ben.
I think, I'd probably have to agree with that one as well, Joanne. I think frustration there got the better of Kyle Briggs. I don't think any action, though, is going to be taken against him. The referee and touch judge, they're both taking the positions for the play to continue. You'd have thought if he was going to call Kyle Briggs out, he would have done so by now.
You'd have thought so. The Bradford player is down there. I didn't see exactly what happened. I'm not sure if the player was. The touch judge is coming back to the referee, so we'll see what's going to be said again. I thought they'd already had a conversation about this.
I thought they sorted it out. In fact, he is now going towards
Kyle Briggs. Is going to Kyle Briggs is the referee. I think something might happen here. It's on report.
I have to say, I agree with why they're having it, but
well, the referee and touch judge obviously didn't see what happened. There were quite a few players in there, but certainly went down. I thought it looked quite bad, and it looked as though Kyle Briggs was very frustrated with the fact that he'd not made touch with that kick. It was a shocking kick, really, let's be honest. And Bradford now with Scott Moore in the Featherstone half on the Featherstone 40, so Bradford on the attack here.
This is getting tasty as the Bulls drive that ball in. That's a good drive as well. The Bulls on the Rovers 30 now. Ball swung left to Leon Price. Price takes that tackle 25 metres out to the left of the sticks. Moore goes right. It's a dink for the corner. Well taken though by the Rovers over on that far side.
Jason Walton there.
It was indeed. And here come Rovers now. You wonder, they've got 20 minutes left here at the Providence Stadium. It's still Bradford 6, Featherstone 7. Rovers now bringing that ball out from their own line. That's a great drive in as well from the Rovers. Here's Richard Moore now. Moore plays the ball to Davis. Johnny Davis kicks from in half, and I'll tell you something, that is a superb kick.
Absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Using the wind, this is what you need to do. It's got to be about game management, this. Featherstone Rovers have got wind and rain at the back. They need to be using that more with these kicks, and John Davis certainly did that. That was great. And Bradford now on their own 30, bringing it up and doing quite well in attack. They've made it up to the 40 now.
And here they are now on the charge again. Here's Butterworth, 5 metres short of halfway. It's important Rovers keep the discipline as well. That ball is juggled by the Bulls, but he holds on. Just makes it over the halfway line. Referee says that's the last. So the ball swung out right. It's with Leon Price. A reverse kick from Leon Price, but straight down the throat of Scott Turner.
Hold on to it this time, Scott.
He does hold on. He's 25 metres out. He will play the ball. It's a slow play, the ball, and here's Rovers on the charge now. They're up to the 30. There to play the ball, and the ball's out left again now. Rovers bringing that ball forward really well. And making 10 metres there was Walton. It's out now with Lockwood for Rovers. Mariano, sorry. Mariano over halfway, and here's Briggs now. That's in half. He finds Brad Tagg. Ball's worked out. Wildy takes on the line. It's the last tackle. Rovers on the 40. Johnny Davis from in half back. He will find Briggs. For the corner, it's underneath the foot. It stayed in the field of play. The Bulls have got to return it. And once again, Joanna, great set from Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, it was a good set, wasn't it? Turning Bradford round and making them bring it out from within their own 10-metre line. Need a good defensive set here and no penalties. Bradford here bringing it up to 25 metres away from their own line with McCartney.
McCartney plays the ball to Moore. It's worked out wide to Peltier. Peltier back on. That's a good drive in. But good defence, and just as you say, no penalties. What do we do?
What was I saying, Ben? We needed a good defensive set. The kicks come quick from Bradford. They're going to take a tap 5 metres in the Featherstone Rovers half. It was the time to do a good defensive set with no penalties. They had a second go, and Bradford, like I say, in the Featherstone half now.
Butterworth plays that ball to Moore. The ball's worked in field. The Bradford Bulls then on just inside the Rovers 30. We've got 17 minutes left. It's Bradford 6, Featherstone 7. The ball's worked out to his right hand side. Johnny Campbell is well wrapped up though by Rovers. He will play the ball to Moore. Moore moves that ball back in field again, but good defence again from the Rovers on Joe Magrin. It was on that occasion. The Bulls are on the 20. Richard Moore. That was a forward pass. That was more forward than some of the ones that he's given. Moore.
They're going for the drop.
They are. The Bradford have got the drop. Rovers too slow to react there. It dropped back, did the Bulls player. And it's a drop goal for the Bradford Bulls, and we're all square again. With 16 left on the clock. Bradford Bulls 7. Featherstone Rovers 7. Could we see Golden Point?
Who knows? still 16 minutes remaining in this game. The score's all square. But Jerky's got the drop goal there for Bradford. But the play before, blatant forward pass by Bradford there. How that was not picked up by the officials, I have no idea. That was shocking. Anyway, Featherstone with the kick-off. It goes towards the touchline. And
I thought for a minute they made a mess of it again, but they didn't.
They just come up with it, don't they? So Lady look a little bit on the side of Bradford there, but they are still deep within their own 20.
Now it's more than crucial than ever that Rovers need to keep the discipline, Joanne. Keep the balls penned down here.
Featherstone Rovers don't want to be giving the easy meters to Bradford. They don't seem to have had the ball for a very long time.
No, we haven't, in fact. And here are the Bulls on this right-hand side. It's worked out towards McCartney.
He's in touch.
But great play
by Featherstone Rovers.
Chris Alunga it was, amongst others.
And Mariano, I do believe, and Kyle Briggs and Duckworth. All four of them were in there.
But Rovers, this is an opportunity now, Joanne. They're going to have a full set in the Bradford half, starting 5 metres inside their own half, in the Bradford half.
It was poor play by Bradford, really, though, wasn't it? You know, you're coming out to these flanks in this weather, you're going to get slid over the touchline, and that's exactly what happened there to Bradford. But Featherstone Rovers
with an opportunity.
Says Cal Briggs puts his ball into the scrum. It comes out to Hardman. Hardman takes it over the Bradford 40-metre line, and he goes to the 30-metre line.
Great drive in from Ian Hardman.
He tries to play the ball. It could have been a penalty. Referee's not giving it. It goes to Lockwood. Lockwood now 18 metres away from the Bradford line. Featherstone Rovers on the attack here. Goes to Davies across to Hardman to that right-hand side. Hardman getting involved in this set of 6 quite a lot. He's 10 metres away from the line. Comes to Davies. Davies passes it back to Hardcastle. Hardcastle is a strong player, but he's held up and pushed back even as he tries to play the ball. It comes to the right. That's a great tackle by Bradford on Walton. It's the last tackle. It comes to the right with Wildy. It goes through and he's
ooh, that could so easily have been a try.
It's touched down by Bradford behind the goal. It was being chased by Scott Turner. He just couldn't get to the ball as the pitch goes up in that right-hand corner. It was a good kick through there, and Bradford are going to take this drop out from under the stick.
They've got a player down as well. I mean, it's how time is called off, but
I think it's just having 5. Do you know what? I really like the system they have in Australia where they have a timed dropout.
Yeah.
Because for me, dropouts are just an excuse
10
to have a break
seconds. I think they have 10 seconds, don't they, to make a dropout, unless the referee calls the time off.
It's a lot better because for me, British teams just use it as a chance to have 5 dropouts sometimes.
Had a change here. But yeah, we've got 13 minutes left. It's Bradford 7, Featherstone 7. An opportunity here for Rovers again.
Andy Bostock there with the ball.
He drives that ball in, and Rovers are
30
just
metres away.
Yep, they're inside the 30 now. Still
that
going. He's 25 metres away.
Could have lifted the foot up of Andy Bostock there, but
grab tag now on the 20. We go for another 1 point, sir.
Possibly. It comes over to Briggs though, to the left-hand side with Mariano. Mariano 10 metres away now. It's going to go across to the right-hand side, back into the middle with Wildy. Wildy's going himself, but he's 5 metres short. Still a few tackles in the bag here for Featherstone Rovers. It comes across to Davies. Davies goes to Walton. Walton on the charge. Walton is over the line. That is a great try, Ben.
Absolutely outstanding try from Jason Walton. Superb play it was from Wildy to set the position up. From the play of the ball swung out right. Jason Walton running on the angle, Joanne, but running on the angle back where the play of the ball had just been. So as the defence was moving out to the right to cover it, quick change of direction, back in field. The Bradford defence couldn't get back across quick enough, and Jason Walton able to get that ball down. We've got 12 minutes left here at the Providence Stadium. It's Bradford Bulls 7, Featherstone Rovers 11.
That was the highlight of the game for me, was that the angle that Jason Walton ran there was sublime, wasn't it? Absolutely lovely to see. And you knew as soon as he got the ball that absolutely nothing apart from a 10-ton truck were going to stop him getting over that line.
He was so alert to it though, Joanne, as well. The way that he saw the Bradford defence and moved across, following the ball, as Kyle Briggs converts. So the way he saw the Bulls defence had moved across, and his quickness of thinking to come back where the play the ball had been, to see the gap and get through was just sublime, as you say.
It was. We've got 11 minutes remaining here at the Providence Stadium at Odsall. It's Bradford Bulls 7, Featherstone Rovers 13 in this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup tie. Featherstone Rovers back in the lead as Bradford kick off, and it's taken on the 20-metre line by Featherstone Rovers, and the play the ball now comes across into the middle of the field with Scott Turner.
Bradford are all standing a mile offside.
Comes
on
out.
That far side.
Oh no, it's played. I think it's Wildy there, gone himself, has it? It's Davis now in at dummy half, goes to Lockwood. Lockwood just about makes it to the halfway line. Comes back into the middle of the field. Kick comes in from Wildy. It's going to be trapped by McCarney. Picks it up on his own 10-metre line. So Bradford coming forward, but there's a wall of blue and white meets McCarney there, including Lockwood and Davis.
Superb play again from Featherstone Rovers. The chase and the defence today has been, with the exception of that try we've just seen, one of the highlights for me today has been this defensive effort from Featherstone Rovers.
And as you can see there as well, they're up into Bradford's faces very quickly, not allowing them to make any metres forward with the ball in hand. Bradford only up to their own 30. Comes across Alunya there with a great tackle there.
That hurt, that must have hurt.
And it's the last, it comes to Scott Moore. Scott Moore shakes the kick and it goes up into the air, and it's actually a very good kick from Scott Moore.
That was a superb kick from Scott Moore.
Picks it up though on his own 10-metre line. Makes onto the ball, so he's 25 metres away from his own line, and he plays the ball. It goes to Hardman now. Hardman gets tackled. Plays the ball. Wildy in at dummy half. Goes over to Hardcastle, I think it is, over there with the ball, and then it comes into Walton. Walton getting into the middle of the field.
Over halfway now, Featherstone Rovers as well.
And there's a Bradford player down with cramps. So, ooh, that's a high tackle on John Davis, isn't it?
Referee's seen it. The referee's seen it. He held his hand up like that to say, yes, I've seen it. He allowed Rovers the advantage, see if they could do anything.
John Davis did the forward pass, didn't he? So that's why it's been brought back as a penalty.
But yeah, the referee saw it straight away, and he actually pointed to say, yes, I will go for two.
I was just going to, I'm not swearing at you, Ben.
I was going to say, I was getting offended then.
I was sticking two fingers up at Ben there. I wasn't actually swearing at him. I was kind of asking you quietly if we were going for two.
To be honest, yes, I would, because we've got 8 minutes left on the clock. Rovers with a 6-point lead. If Kyle Briggs can send this through the sticks, which he's going to try and do, it gives Rovers a 2-score lead, and with only 8 minutes left, Joanne, you could find that to be enough. And the Bradford player is actually leaving.
It's Brandon Wilkinson.
Brandon Wilkinson. He's had I'll tell you something, Joanne, out of all the Bradford team, for me, Brandon Wilkinson has been superb for the Bulls today.
He has, and he sort of went down in back play. There was no players on him when he went down with the injury. I'm not sure if it's cramp or what. Anyway, teeing up this penalty
in the context of this game, this is a huge kick, isn't it?
Yeah, he's 40 metres away from the posts, just slightly to the right. The wind behind his back. It is swirling though.
Come on, Kyle.
So can he put Featherstone even further ahead?
He's got the distance. Has he got the direction? Yes, he has.
What an important kick that is from Briggs with 8 minutes remaining. That's Bradford Bulls 7, Featherstone Rovers 15. It's put them 2 scores ahead in this game.
That could well be the game breaker, Joanne. With, like you say, we've got 8 minutes left. a 2-score lead now. And the way Rovers' defence has been this afternoon, I can't see Bradford scoring twice. They've gone for the long kick-off.
Don't count those chickens.
It's taken by Ian Hardman. And Hardman will start on his own 20-metre line now. He will play that ball, and the ball goes out right. Rovers now, it's just up your jumper time, really, isn't it, in these conditions? There's to play the ball. Here's Johnny Davis. He's left the acting half position, I think, at the moment. And it's Ian to meet with Matty Wildy, who's playing there.
I think Wildy's gone to hooker, and I like Johnny Davis out away from being a hooker, I must admit. He's such a great player, and
well, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of Matty Wildy, though. And here is John Davis. He had put a clean in, and I'll tell you, it's just the wrong side of the flag.
That would have been a great catch if it had gone into touch. It's not though, so Bradford going to take that tap on the 20-metre line. Featherstone looked offside at that tap, I must admit, but it's not being given by the referee.
It's not been, the ones he's penalised offside for haven't, they've very well been half a yard.
Certainly we're within the 10 with Featherstone there anyway.
Here are the Bulls with Butterworth.
Good tackle by Lockwood on Butterworth there.
He's 5 metres short of halfway is Butterworth. He'll move that ball in field. And here are Bradford. They're only just over halfway. We've got 6 minutes left. Rovers with an 8-point lead.
Don't want any penalties here.
Peltier moves that ball's moved out wide. It's found its way to McCartney. It's a knock on. Rovers will take that very happily. It's going to be a scrum down head and feed. McCartney's slow to get up, but he is okay. It must be so draining for them out there, though, in these conditions, Joanne.
Yeah, it's draining sat in the stand. So, yeah, it must be bad for them out there.
The clock is stopped with 5 minutes.
Wet and windy here in Bradford today.
The clock is stopped with 5 minutes, 45 seconds left on it.
So Kyle Briggs going to put the ball into the scrum. It comes out to John Davis, who goes down the blind side to Alunya. Alunya takes it up to the halfway line.
Not the best pass to Alunya. He had to crouch down to get that.
He did well to take it. It goes to Mariano. Mariano taking it up to the Bradford 40. 5.5 minutes left in the game. Featherstone.
Have the lights gone out?
50 pairs the lights go out on us in the stand. Need to put some money in the meter. It goes to Mariano. Mariano back to Hardman. Hardman's over the line. That's Featherstone Rovers in the next round of the
It is indeed Ian Hardman doing what Ian Hardman does best of all. Backing up that break from Mariano. Able to take the ball and stroll over 12 metres in from the left-hand touchline. And we've got just under 5 minutes left. It's now Bradford Bulls 7, Featherstone Rovers 19. And as you say, Joanne, Rovers progress into the next round of the Challenge Cup.
They certainly do. They've made the mark in this second half. Not the greatest of first halves, was it, with completion rates. In the second half, Featherstone have just managed to win this war of attrition and turn a screw to put themselves further ahead. As the Bradford Bulls fans stream out of the stadium now, they know it's all over.
And it has been such an impressive victory for Featherstone Rovers as well, Joanne. Not just, like you say, it's been a real war of attrition out there this afternoon as Luke Cooper comes back on for the last few minutes. But it has been a real battle out there, hasn't it? It's not been easy conditions. It's not been an easy game to play in, but Rovers, as they have done every game this season, have worked so hard for each other.
For me, it's been the defence, Ben. It's been absolutely appalling conditions. As Briggs goes for the conversion attempt and is successful. That makes it Bradford Bulls 7, Featherstone Rovers 21 with 4 minutes remaining on the clock here in this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup tie.
And you were just saying about the defence there for Rovers. It's been absolutely outstanding, hasn't it? Each man, to a man, they've been superb.
The defence for me, it's with these conditions, it's got to be the forwards have got to really come to the fore. As Luke Cooper there with the ball from that kick-off takes it up to just short of the Featherstone 20-metre line.
John Davis is back in attack in half-back again, so that change from Rovers. Brad Tagg plays the ball to Davis. He swings it out wide here to Mariano. Mariano takes it 35 metres out, 10 in from the left touchline. Davis will have a scoot himself from that's in half, and that's not a bad one either. He gets a couple of metres shy of halfway. He plays the ball to Wilder. Here's Kyle Briggs. Briggs kicks early.
Sensible play.
Game management, isn't it? It's all about game management, and that is superb.
Yeah, sensible play by Kyle Briggs there. Kicking the ball into touch. Bradford are going to have to set this scrum 15 metres away from their own line.
Hurrying to set the scrum to get the clock stopped. It is stopped on 2 minutes 46 seconds.
You do feel as though it's absolutely irrelevant though whether they get this scrum set quickly or slowly though, because they're not going to make up the difference in the scores. That 14 points in 2 minutes, 3 minutes that's left in the game.
Yes, they did. It'd be Hull KR and Salford escorts to the £1 million game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Here are the Bulls then bringing that ball out. Whilst they are doing so, Joanne, we've mentioned a lot of good performances today. 2,489 here today. Joanne, who's your Rovers TV man of the match?
Give me a bit longer to think about.
Okay, I'll let you think about that.
Kicks through.
Oh, it's taken.
Back to the Bradford player. It's kicked through. It's a chase for the ball.
McCartney against Turner. Duckworth, sorry.
Gets there first. That was good play by Duckworth. He showed a Turner speed. It's going to be a dropout from under the sticks, though, isn't it?
Bit of ingenuity from the Bulls as well. Great. It was a great move from them on this right-hand side.
It was a kick that ricocheted from the Featherstone Rovers player. It came back to Bradford and the kick went through, and it was a foot chase between James Duckworth and McCartney. Duckworth, though, was ready for it and is down there injured behind the try line. He's just getting some attention, he's Duckworth, so he put his body on the line well and truly there.
Joe Keys has been given the Bradford Bulls man of the match. No complaints from me in that respect. He's played really well for the Bulls today.
Oh, he has, yes. He's probably been, well, he has been their best player, as they've said, the man of the match for them. As the dropout comes out, goes up to the Featherstone Rovers.
It's a bit of a daisy cutter.
Scott Moore takes it forward over the Featherstone 30-metre line.
Here are the Bulls then attacking down the left. An outrageous dummy thrown, but Rovers didn't buy it. Look at that defence again, Joanne. There's 2 minutes. They're inside the last minute of the game, and there's still 3-4 men in that tackle. Here are the Bulls again. So it's worked out to this right-hand side with Joe Magrin.
So less than a minute remaining here. The kick comes through. It's a clever kick.
Oh, it's a superb try.
So Bradford with a consolation try with 40 seconds remaining on the
Johnny.
clock. It was a clever kick through.
Johnny Campbell, he was to have got on the end of it. A superb little reverse kick from the Bulls.
Was it Joe Keys with that kick? He came off the side of his boot.
I think so. It was outside of the boot, wasn't it? And it was a superb reverse kick as well. And Johnny Campbell, the quickest to react. The Bulls not wasting any time getting back in position. And with here's the conversion. His kicks the try. It's been converted by Joe Keith, but it's not going to be enough for the Bulls. It's Bradford Bulls 13, Featherstone Rovers 21. There goes the final hooter.
So Featherstone Rovers are through to the next round of the Ladbrokes Challenge Cup. It's the final score there is Bradford Bulls 13, Featherstone Rovers 21.
You had to think then, didn't you? You were looking at the scoreboard, they haven't put it up yet.
So Bradford Bulls
21-13.
Featherstone Rovers 21.
What a game.
Rovers in the draw Tuesday evening it is, so listen out for that. Absolutely great performance by Featherstone Rovers. Featherstone Rovers had to work hard in terrible conditions this afternoon.
Would you believe it, Joanne? After all that, the sun's come out at Odswell.
Exactly, the sun's shining now. Got blue sky up there. Who'd have thought it? However,
would you like to talk us through the game?
Yeah, well, I'll talk you through the second half. We had a close chance from Sam Day, he knocked on over the line. Then Bradford came back with that Hodgson try, the Keys conversion. Then Briggs put Featherstone back in front, 7-6 with the drop goal. Keys levelled it up with his drop goal, but then Featherstone really turned the screw with that fantastic Jason Walton try. Kyle Briggs converted it, and then Briggs got the penalty for the high shot on John Davis. And then we saw the Hardman try down the left-hand side. Briggs converted that, and then Bradford got the late consolation try. The team, Featherstone Rovers 21. Featherstone Rovers have done what they came here to do, to get through to the next round of the Challenge Cup. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't a great game of rugby league, the conditions were appalling, but Featherstone Rovers are in that next round. We're going to go down, have a chat with John Sharp and a few players, get their post-match reaction. So thank you for listening this afternoon, and thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Joanne.
And tune in where we'll be at the big fellas next for the home game back in the league against Toulouse Olympique.
Indeed, bring on the French.
Ladbrokes Challenge Cup Round 4, Saturday games, Barrow 20, Keighley 0, Swinton 40, London Scholars 8, Toulouse 16, Batley 34, Oldham 40, Aydock 12. From Sunday, Bradford 13, Featherstone Rovers 21, Gloucestershire 22, Doncaster 48, Halifax 20, Hunslet 6, Hull KR 48, Sheffield 10, York 26, Rochdale 20. Next round of the draw for round 5 takes place on Tuesday.